There we go. Okay, so yeah, forgive me. I feel a little nervous today. I've not had to teach a class like this to many people, I think ever. So I don't know, the nerves are a little high today. But we're going to move forward and do hard things. So if you don't know me, my name is Yuna. I am a wife. I am a mom to a very active 3.5-year-old boy and a 17-month-old girl. And I am a nurse. I've been a nurse, a pediatric oncology nurse, specifically for 11 years now. Oh my goodness. And I fell into oils about 5 years ago, looking for a natural option for allergies, something that I've been struggling with and taking over the counters for 7+ years daily. It was that bad. And it was also around the time that my husband and I were thinking about starting a family. So everything just kind of coincided and oils fell into my lap. And now I use them every single day, all day long, on my children, around my home, on myself. And yeah, I'm so grateful as a mom to have these in my arsenal and just in my home in general, so that I can be a gatekeeper of good things into my home. Okay, so today we're going to talk about oils for every age. So we're actually going to start with pregnancy, right? That's like the beginning of all the things. And I feel especially qualified to talk about pregnancy because I can speak from a non-oily pregnancy and an oily pregnancy. So I had come off of 2 back-to-back miscarriages when I got pregnant with my son. So obviously I was super nervous. I was like, oh, everything's going to go wrong. And I was nervous about using oils, especially internally. So I didn't, and that's okay. And I think the drive home point with pregnancy is do what you feel comfortable with. You know, if you're not okay with internal use, don't do it. You can diffuse it, you can use it topically. And if you have been using oils for a long time and it's part of your routine, and there's no other indication that says don't do it, then I would continue it. And that's exactly what I did when I was pregnant with my daughter. So you can see here that with pregnancy, a healthy mama equals a healthy baby, right? So what we put into our bodies, that's often the first reason, right, that a lot of moms start to think about, hey, what am I bringing into my home? What am I putting into my body? So I think more than anything, LLV is a foundation here too. I use them as a prenatal vitamin. I showed them to my OB and she was okay with it. She did ask me to supplement with folic acid or folate for a little bit of my pregnancy, but other than that, she was completely fine. Again, if you're worried or nervous, or I certainly encourage you to show them to your doctors and make sure that they're okay with it. Digestion is a hard thing in pregnancy, and Digest Zen was my best friend and continues to be my best friend. So that's a great way to help with hormones that are slowing down things in your gut area. Terrazyme, you can see here that you can take those with every meal. These are digestive enzymes. So those will help break down the foods that are maybe not moving along as quickly. Just pregnancy is a weird time. It's beautiful and it's weird, where it does things to your body that aren't a thing any other time. So the digestive enzymes are really cool in that they'll pass through the breast milk and allow your baby to have a more settled tummy too. So I think a lot of moms struggle with that they have babies with upset tummies. Maybe there's colic, maybe there's reflux and stuff. And, you know, we're limited in what we can give babies, especially without like a doctor's diagnosis. So Terrazyme is a way that you can maybe help pass those to the baby through breast milk and see if that helps ease their tummy as well. Okay. Copaiba is another great option for pregnancy. That one you can take under your tongue for anxious feelings. Yeah, pregnancy is a time of heightened emotions, right? And anxiety can be one of them. Having to evacuate a baby is anxiety provoking. Just, you know, like whatever your past history is, that could be something. So Copaiba is one that could support you in that way. And that one is just great for the whole body, great for anti-inflammatory properties. And once the baby's out, you could also be taking Copaiba to support a boost in your milk supply too. Okay. Something else I wanted to mention, 2 all-stars during my pregnancies were ginger oil in sparkling water. I was obsessed with ginger ale with my first pregnancy, and I drank the real stuff that has not so great high fructose corn syrup in there. And it was just a craving. And I got smarter and I started adding 1 drop of ginger to my sparkling water. And that really helped me with just like the icky indigestion feelings or the reflux or heartburn. And I loved Deep Blue Rub. That was like the best on my lower back as your belly starts to get bigger. And I work as a nurse. So I was standing and hustling 12-hour days, and it felt incredible to come home, take a hot shower, and slather that Deep Blue Rub on my lower legs and on my lower back. You could also do it on shoulders, just anywhere that's aching, okay? Basil and fennel are also options to help you boost and support a healthy milk supply. So these can be taken internally if you feel comfortable, like in a veggie cap. And if not, you can apply them to breast tissue. So I would dilute, obviously avoid like the area where the baby is feeding from. And then I would encourage you to apply it after a baby feeds, so it has time to absorb, kind of air out. And then before the baby feeds, if you want to, you can wipe away any excess oil with a clean washcloth, okay? You can see here that peppermint, it says use carefully. So I think there's a lot of questions or concerns about using peppermint when you are breastfeeding. So this is not so much an issue when you're pregnant, but while breastfeeding, peppermint contains, peppermint can decrease milk supply in some women. And I think that's the big drive home point. Some women can't, some breastfeeding women cannot diffuse it. They can't apply it topically. They can't take it internally because they see a drop in their milk supply. And then there are women like me who I was taking Tries every single day that has peppermint in it. I was rolling on peppermint for energy in different blends, and I was completely fine. So I think that one is if you're nervous, just use something else. Use spearmint, use something else for whatever purpose you're looking for. Or you can experiment. So once your milk supply is established, you could maybe tinker around with a little bit of peppermint and see if you experience that drop. And if you do, you can use basil, fennel, and copaiba to help boost it back up, okay? I did want to mention that I loved using oils for postpartum care. For you mamas who have been through this, like nothing feels good down there, you know? So I made padsicles using lavender oil. I made a peri spray using immortelle, frankincense, helichrysum, lots of recipes out there. And if you are a expecting mom or you know someone who's expecting, I love this reference. It's called Essential Oils for Pregnancy, Birth, and Babies. And it's written by Stephanie Fritz, who is a licensed midwife and also an avid doTERRA user. So I feel like she gives great advice and tips in here, and then you can kind of take what you feel comfortable doing, okay? Sorry, I didn't even mention that if you have a question, please stop me maybe at the end of a section before I head to the next one, because I have mom brain and I will probably forget what I'm talking about. So anybody have any questions right now? Okay, so let's move on to infants to age 2. So you can see up here that it says doTERRA essential oils are the most tested and most trusted essential oils on the market. So in that way, I feel really good and really safe using doTERRA oils on my babies. I started oiling my second baby probably day 2 of life, and not day 1 because I completely forgot. I had just birthed a baby, completely forgot. Starting day 2, I started putting oils on the bottoms of her feet, you know, something very, very diluted. With this age in particular, you definitely want to dilute heavily. I am definitely one of those conservative oil users. You know, as you gain experience and you know your children or yourself, you can be, you know, more liberal. You can just add a drop, maybe a squirt, or just add a drop of oil to your hands and know that this one, it's not a big deal because it's not a really hot, spicy oil, and use it straight on. And that's fine because you know your kids, you know yourself. For me, I'm all about diluting. And especially with this age group, I'm literally putting 1 drop of oil to all of this FCO in a 10 ml. Okay, so I start really, really, really low. On Guard Touch, our touch line is pre-diluted. It is formulated to be safe and effective for newborns all the way up to the elderly. So that touch line you can use for any age group. If you are a little bit nervous, especially with like a brand spanking new, fresh newborn, a nice and easy hack if you want to use an On Guard touch, for example, is to make a roller bottle of just FCO. You can see here, I labeled this one. So you could just swipe this on the bottoms of newborn's feet and then swipe on the On Guard touch or the tamer. And you'll just know that your baby is getting a little bit lighter of a dose, okay? You can see here also that tamer is from our kids collection, and you can apply that as needed to the bottoms of feet or to the tummy for that colic, the gas, things like that, okay? Next up, we have our unscented lotion. So you can actually, I've actually seen people take those pointed dropper tops, open up the lotion container and like literally squirt it in there. And then you can like mix up the actual lotion bottle and get like lavender body lotion. So you can use this one to massage your baby, you know, moisturize your skin, obviously. And then diffuser is so easy for babies this age. So you could be diffusing lavender for restful and peaceful sleep, breathe for respiratory support. Other great ones for really little ones are Roman chamomile, that is very soothing, serenity, frankincense. And when I told you that I've been oiling my daughter since day 2, I oiled her with what I call a unicorn blend. I found it online, and it was 1 drop of Melissa, which is coming up in a BOGO this week. That one is gentle, like immune support, like a big gun, and then frankincense, another immune support big gun, and then balance. So we know that that one is all the relaxing. We could use all the chill for a little baby that just got popped out of the womb and is in this crazy world. Okay, so I love to apply that on my first diaper change of the day. You could just put it by the diaper changing table and even roll it on multiple times a day. So remember that with oils, it's all about smaller doses more frequently. It's not about chugging half a bottle. We never do that. You know, it's small amounts more frequently. Okay, so even for adults, we don't need to do 50 drops of something when we could use 1 or 2, but just do it more frequently and as needed. Okay, any questions? Okay, we're gonna move on to school age kids. So school age, you know, they're more at that point where they can be independent. Maybe they have their own set of rollers and they can kind of pick that, man, I'm feeling this way, I need this oil. They can be a little bit more independent. So still foundational are nutrition and supplements, okay? So our diets, just things have changed a lot, you know, even from 30 years, 50 years ago, our food is just not as nutritious, and life is crazy right now. You know, maybe we're not able to provide the nutritious meals that we usually do, or we just don't have the mental capacity to do it, okay? So we're filling in gaps with supplements. And for our kids, we have our A to Z chewable vitamins. And then we have our IQ Mega. This is like fish oils in liquid form. It has been flavored with our wild orange oil, so it's not as like stinky and fishy. I love to add IQ Mega to our family smoothies. So I'm getting some, my husband's getting some, and our kids. And that's just an easy way to get these in, maybe without the struggle if your kids don't like it. I know my sister with her older school age kids that she'll add a dose of the IQ Mega in a little bit of juice. So that really helps mask the taste. You can just drink the juice up and they probably don't even know it was in there, okay? And probably the true winner of the kids supplements is PB Assist Junior. So that one is our probiotics for kids or adults because they're delicious. And this one comes in a powder form and it's literally like a pixie stick. I don't know any kids who don't like this. Even my 17-month-old daughter, I give her a little bit. I probably give her maybe like a third and I give her brother 2/3 of it. She loves it, loves it. You think she's giving you, you're giving her like, I don't know, a giant bucket of candy. She loves it. And they're getting the benefits, right? So this one has prebiotics, which are, you can think of it as like fertilizers that stimulate growth of healthy bacteria in your gut before it even gets all the way down there. And then probiotics are adding healthy bacteria to the gut. Okay, so those are things that are needed to create like a healthy environment in your gut. Okay, and we always say that gut health is a reflection of everything else. Okay, of skin health, just like immune support. So much of your immune system is in your gut. Okay, so important for kids as well. Maybe for your older kids or even young kids, I know some young kids can swallow beadlets or pills, but our On Guard beadlets have just 1/4, just a teeny bit of On Guard in these tiny little beadlet forms. And I know some kiddos are totally fine just swallowing them. Some of them are okay biting them. You know, On Guard's a little bit spicy. So you can even just add it to some applesauce maybe and have them swallow it for daily immune support. Okay. So next up, we have our kids collection. This one is pre-diluted for ease and convenience. This came out a couple years ago. And this is really great because you're really empowering your kids to roll on oils for what they need it for. Okay, so even adults love these. They are formulated with oils that are a little bit gentler, thinking about, you know, kids in mind. And it's kind of like a kid counterpart to a lot of the adult counterparts. So for example, calmer could be like serenity, stronger could be On Guard, and tamer could be like digestion. Okay, so if you want to use something that's maybe not as strong smelling or that is already pre-diluted and you don't have to worry about it, this would be a great choice. Okay. All right, adolescence. So we know lots of hormones are happening here. A big issue in adolescence is acne. So there are several options for oils in terms of acne, but we do have specifically this HD Clear skincare system. So it starts with a foaming face wash, and then it has a lotion, and it also has this roller bottle for spot treatment. So it's balancing all those hormones. And this is definitely for like acne prone skin. I wouldn't just have your teenager use this proactively necessarily. Maybe start with something gentler, but if they have active acne, I would definitely recommend this. You can also spot treat with tea tree, which is my favorite for those random pimples I'm getting in my late 30s. And then even oils like cedarwood or purify are great options. Okay, so even for adolescents, you could be starting a half dose of Lifelong Vitality. So it's still foundational support, right? They're getting all their multivitamins, they're getting their fish oils through the omegas, and even antioxidant and cellular energy through the alpha CRS. Okay. Definitely need a diffuser for teenagers. I would encourage them to have some oils on their nightstand or on their desk, wherever they have their diffuser, so that they can pick what they want. Definitely some great ones to consider are maybe wild orange and peppermint, adding in rosemary, maybe for homework time, for focus and energy, alertness, or just oils that smell good to them, that, you know, when they feel like they're in a funk or they're sad or they're frustrated, that they can, just be independent and working that out and putting oils in the diffuser themselves. Clary Calm is our women's monthly blend, and it can be used even for teenage girls. So it's consistent hormone support, and also helpful for girls maybe who are having heavy periods, so that you could be applying this to the lower abdomen and even like the insides of the wrist, kind of where you would put perfume if you wanted the hormone support. Okay. Okay, adulthood. So I hope you guys all know that LLV is a foundation of pretty much all the things we do in doTERRA. Okay, so this is our #1 selling product. I always was surprised by that. You know, we're an essential oils company, but this is our #1 product for a reason. It has helped so many people with chronic issues, just baseline health. I know even for me, I don't suffer from chronic issues, but I feel like I feel more rested when I wake up in the morning. I feel like my brain fog is better. And honestly, this really helps with my mood support. I'm a mostly stay-at-home mom right now. And when I forget to take like my morning dose by like 10 or 11 a.m., I'm like cranky, I'm irritable with my children, and I just feel like I have a headache, and it's like, oh, it's because I forgot to take my dose. Okay. So you can see here, increase energy, mental clarity, decrease inflammation for people who do have chronic issues. And this one has a 30-day money back guarantee. So you really have nothing to lose. You could take every single pill capsule for 30 days. And if you're like, hey, Eunice said they would help me and they didn't, you can get a refund from doTERRA, okay? Also the Terrazyme, again, things are slowing down as we're aging, so we can always use those digestive enzymes as support, and adding citrus oils to your water is always helpful, right? We always want to be hydrating ourselves, and adding citrus oils is an easy way to do that, okay? So just as a reminder, we know the 3 ways to use oils: aromatically, just diffusing them, putting a drop in your hand and making your own cheap diffuser with your hands and just taking some deep breaths in and out. This is great for right now, right? We're at home a lot, we're working from home, the kids are home, so we could be uplifting cranky moods, frustration, even just like the germs in the air by diffusing different oils. And you can see Citrus Bliss, that one has been on complete repeat since March for me. That one makes me feel happier. I feel like it's cheerful, and yeah, like who doesn't like Citrus Bliss? The second way to use oils is topically. We know that we can do targeted support. So if my shoulder is hurting, my neck is hurting, I can apply oils right there. And for just systemic benefits, bottoms of the feet or up and down the spine are always an easy way. And then lastly, internally, so definitely only doTERRA. I would never recommend you using another oil internally, because our oils are thoroughly tested. It says on the bottle that you can use them this way. And if you do have oils from other brands, a lot of times it will say on the bottle, do not ingest, or only for aromatic use. And for me, that is a red flag. And that means something about the quality. If you can't put lemon in your body, right? That's like a fruit, or peppermint in your body. With internal use, I would encourage you to stay consistent for optimal benefits and really set yourself up for success. So in that way, I have a supplement box. If I have to open 3 bottles every single day, twice a day, I'm not going to take my supplement. So I need an easy way to do that. And I would also encourage you to have the oils that you use in your water when you cook, really close and out. Don't put them in a pretty box. You need to have them out on display. So you're like, oh yeah, when I fill up my water bottle, I'm going to add citrus oils because it's right here. Okay. Remember, with internal use, especially with citrus, you want to be using stainless steel, glass, or ceramic. So we're avoiding plastic cups or styrofoam cups because the citrus oils can eat away at those, and we don't want to be drinking those things. Okay. Okay, the glory years. So we're aging, and yeah, like at this point, dilution is important again, very important again, just like it was as newborns and baby stage. Okay, our skin is thinning a little bit, getting more delicate and sensitive. An example I like to give is I gave my mom some Claricon because she's in that menopause, post-menopause period, and that oil is not diluted. It comes in a roller bottle, it's full strength. And number one, my mom has sensitive skin, period. But, she's aging as well. And yeah, it was just too strong for her. So I had to take it back and pour half of it out and dilute it with more FCO for her. So with dilution, again, I'm a big, big proponent of it. Just leave some extra room in any roller bottles you make, okay? I would rather have you roll it around and be like, oh, that's not strong enough, and then pop off the roller bottle, the roller ball, and then add more of the oil and make it stronger, okay? Versus you making it too strong and be like, oh, dang it, okay? Lifelong vitality is still a baseline for health here in the glory years, especially with maybe joints breaking down, hurting, aches and pains, being a little bit more fatigued, and protecting the brain, right? That we want to maintain great brain acuity. What am I looking for? We want our brains to be sharp, right? As we age, and we want to be able to enjoy these years. The bone nutrient complex is a great addition for anybody who has like a history of osteoporosis, joint, just like bones being thin or brittle. This one helps maintain healthy bone mass and density. It provides 100% of your daily recommended amounts of calcium and magnesium and contains vitamin D 2 and 3. That vitamin D is really important because it helps your body to effectively absorb the calcium. So without that vitamin D there, you're taking all this calcium, your body's not going to absorb it. So it's kind of like moot point. Okay. So you definitely want that vitamin D to be included as well. Okay. So I did want to show you my favorite dilution chart. So you know that I'm big on dilution. I encourage you to take a screenshot of this if you'd like. So at the end of the day, you know, oils for every age. I think oils, doTERRA oils can be safe for every age, okay? Definitely there are oils that are gentler that I would encourage you to use on like babies versus like somebody your age maybe. And then there are hot and spicier oils where definitely I would dilute. But for me, it's just a good rule of thumb. And this is the chart I'm always using. So you're looking at this left side to see what the container size you have. Okay, so if you have a 5 ml roller, you're starting right here. If you have a 10 ml, you're starting right here. So for an example, say I'm making a roller for my friend who's going to have a newborn baby. Okay, I want to make her the unicorn blend I made. Okay. So we're looking at a 10 ml roller for a newborn infant, okay? So this is total number of drops in the 10 ml roller, okay? So I went over, right? I did 3 drops because there's three oils in that blend. I don't think that's the end of the world, but this is a suggested guideline, okay? Say I was making a immune support roller for myself and I wanted to use On Guard and frankincense, okay? So we're moving this over to teens and adults. So I could use 20 to 50 drops, okay? I'm all for safety through dilution and also saving money, okay? So I don't wanna use 50 drops, especially of my precious frankincense, unless I have to, okay? So I'm gonna start at the 20 range and maybe do 10 of On Guard and 10 of frankincense. And then if I just need to boost it up, I'm just gonna pop off the top and add more oil, okay? So up to about 50 is safe for teens and adults, okay? But I always recommend starting at the low end, okay? And then say you have, like you kinked your back. This is not something that happens a lot. And you can see here on the way right side, we have adults with pain or short-term issues. So roller bottles in this dilution range are not meant to be used every single day forever. Okay, so these are short periods of time. You're addressing a pain issue. I don't know, just something's going on where this is not your normal. Okay, so you could start at 50 total drops and then all the way up to 100, although I've never gone this high, okay? So for example, something I use this one for is my flute roller, right? The frankincense, lemon, on guard, oregano, and tea tree. So that's one that's pretty well known for like hearty immune support, okay? When you feel like you're getting sick, you are sick, okay? So I do 10 drops of each oil because there's 5 oils in that. So for a total of 50 drops, okay? So yeah, I think this one is a really nice one. And again, as you get more comfortable with oils, you will figure out what works for you, what feels safe for you, what you know that you, your kids, your parents, your grandparents can tolerate in terms of their own skin, right? Because we're all unique, we're all different, okay? So what works for me, maybe way too lightweight for you, and you need to like amp up the number of drops, okay? So yeah, experiment, but I always encourage experimenting on the low end first, okay? Because you can always make it stronger. One other thing I wanted to show you was this guy here. So in thinking about safety, we always want to think about photosensitive oils, okay? So as we are in the heat of summer, I know things are going to get way hotter here in Southern California. And these are a list of oils that can cause skin sensitivity, okay? Meaning that they have citrus oils in them or cumin, which I'm pretty sure doesn't have citrus in there, but that's always like a random one on there. But the rest of these generally have a citrus oil in them. And just by that nature, that increases your potential of having a skin sensitivity reaction, meaning usually like a skin burn, like a sunburn almost, like a rash, redness, things like that. So I don't want this to happen to you, your babies, your grandparents. So just something to keep in mind, okay? And ways that this can be avoided is applying these oils under clothing, right? So if it was something for mood support, I could roll it under my shirt line. So I often do this when I'm at work, okay? So I don't want to maybe put it all around here. So from right here, I can still smell it. You could put it on the bottoms of your feet. You could put it behind your ears as long as like your hair is not super short and you're not going to go on like a 10-hour hike. So exercise good judgment in that way. Okay. But yeah, I think there's a lot of oils on here that you're like, oh, I didn't know that there was a citrus oil in that, because we always think of maybe the oil that's maybe the first or second ingredient and not one that's like fifth, especially in a blend. Okay. Let's see if I have any other notes. The last thing I need to share is today's code word. So if you are part of a team where you are listening for a code word so that you can get a gift at the end of your 8 classes. Today's code word is LLV. So the lifelong vitality. Remember, that's a baseline for everything we recommended for all the people. Okay, so LLV. Anybody have any questions? I think I talk really fast when I'm nervous, so sorry. Anybody? Oh, sorry, I missed all this in the chat.
You did good. What was the second slide for the adults? When you were showing for the adults, when you started doing the adults recommendations?
Let's see.
The second slide.
Oh, don't. This one? So this one was the
Is
first
that
one,
the one?
LLV, and then it was Terrazyme and Lemon. So one note about Terrazyme, it's out of stock right now. It's supposed to be coming back, I think, in the next few weeks. If you are in a total pinch or you are like, oh my goodness, I need this right now, there are a few ways you can get around that. So I would talk to maybe your enroller and see if they can show you like the Healthy Habits Code. I'm totally gonna blank. I'm mom braining.
Yeah,
there's a few ways you can get it.
There's the Healthy Habits, and then there's that digestive kit with
Yes.
LRP kits.
Yeah, so obviously that would be a bigger spend than just buying Terrazyme, but you're also getting other products that are targeted. And yeah, unfortunately right now that's a way to get Terrazyme, unless you're okay with waiting. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me look really quickly. Carly loved the book I mentioned about essential oils for pregnancy, birth, and babies. Oh, okay. Let's see. Somebody answered Kathleen's question. Let's see. Okay. Dr. Tina, that dilution ratio chart is from our group. I could send it to you. And thank you everyone for your kind words. And Shelly Arnold asked at the end, what were the 5 oils in your immune blend? So it's, remember the acronym of FLOOT, F-L-O-O-T. It used to be Flume with an M when Melaleuca was tea tree, or tea tree was Melaleuca, but now it's frankincense, lemon, on guard, oregano, and tea tree. Okay, I think that's the end of my part. So I'm handing off the torch to Carly. Thanks guys for listening. Thanks for spending some of your Sunday with me.
Thanks, Yuna. That was
Thank you.
You're welcome.